Rams, here's your homework video for Monday, April 26th. This is on page 13 and 14 in your STAR review booklet, okay? Now, I don't mind if you watch the entire thing for help, but make for sure you show your work. All right, so this actually goes right back to the 6th grade level of work that we've done with our ratios and proportions. The ratio of boys to girls in the school band is 4 to 3. If there are 16 boys, how many boys and girls? Uh-oh. All right, so it's a ratio table. I'm going to write down boys and girls. But then the end is saying how many boys and girls. So that means I need a total. Okay, so if the ratio is 4 to 3, that means one of these numbers represent a 4 and one represents a 3. But I have to figure out which is which. So what I do is I look at the order of the words. The first word goes with the first number. Then the second word goes with the second number. So boys is 4, girls is 3. So if there were a total of 7 students in the band, 4 would be boys and 3 would be girls. Now, it says there are 16 boys. So that's my prediction. Remember that key word, if there are. That's a prediction, so typically it means it's going to be a ratio problem. So 16 for boys. So 4 times 4 is 16. Times 14, my goodness, times 4. And then whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. So 7 times 4 is 28. Do I really care how much here is for the girls? No, it would be 12, and then I could check and see if 16 plus 12 equals 28. But that's not part of my answer. The question says, how many boys and girls are there? So that means total. All right, so your answer there was D. All right, next problem. All right, problem 2 here, actually by accident, was the same problem that was on last Thursday's homework assignment, but that's okay. All right, it says that Diana uses 30 grams of coffee beans to make 48 fluid ounces of coffee. So when company comes, she makes 100 fluid ounces. Oh, that's not a 40, it's a 48, I'm sorry. When company comes, she makes 100 fluid ounces of coffee. How many grams of coffee bean does she need to use to make that 100 ounces of coffee? So I do not see a nice pretty scale factor across here. I mean, I could divide by 2, but it's not going to do a lot for me. Okay, and I do not see a scale factor here. So what I'm going to do is cross multiply and divide. All right, so when I cross multiply and divide, 30 times 100 would be 3,000. Okay, what I could do is look at how many zeros are there, right? 3,000, but then I'm going to divide by the one that's left over. So 3,000 divided by 48 is going to give me 62.5. Okay? She would use 62.5 grams of coffee. One way you could actually just look at estimation and do this entire problem because I'm going to change colors here for a second. I almost doubled the amount of, I more than doubled the amount of coffee, right? 48 times 2 is 96. 30 times 2 is 60. So it should be a little bit more than 60. And there's only one answer that's even close to that. All right, a hot air balloon travels 18 miles in 3 hours. How many miles will it travel in 3/4 of an hour? So this is another rates problem, which is just a special type of ratio. So we're going to, 2 things that we're comparing. If I'm not sure, I'm going to look at what my numbers are, and I figure out what the words are that represent my numbers. I see miles goes with 18, hours goes with these numbers. So I'm going to be comparing miles and hours. Now, how do I know what numbers go with what? Well, I just look for the ones that are grouped together in a phrase. 18 miles in 3 hours. Now, I'm trying to figure out 3/4 of an hour. But you know what? I won't even worry about that yet. I see right here the relationship between these numbers. 1 hour, if I divide by 3 and divide by 3, I'm going to get 6 miles. So this hot air balloon travels 6 miles in 1 hour. Okay, I'm going to write a whole nother one here. just so it's not confusing, 6 miles in 1 hour, we want to go 3/4 of an hour, right? What is 3/4 of 6, right? 3/4 of 6. We know our answer is going to have to be smaller than 6. There's only one possible answer here, but I could cross multiply and divide. Okay, if I said 6 times 3/4. Well, remember, multiply fractions, no whole numbers, no mixed numbers, put them over 1. 6 times 3 is 18 over 4. So now I just need to divide, top dog. Now, the reason I multiplied them, look, 1 times 3/4 is 3/4, so 6 times 3/4, okay? So now I'm going to do 18 divided by 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And I get a 2. I bring it up, it's 2/4, which is 1/2. So it's 4.5, which is 4.5. Okay? Make for sure you have the work. All right, problem 4 says the price of a tablet was increased from $180 to $207. By what percentage was it increased? Okay, so my original price here was $180. If my new price would be $360, it would have increased by 100%. Okay, we know that. So if it increased by $90, it'd be up 50%. None of these numbers are that high, okay? But we know that this is the proportional setup that we use. Change over original equals percent over 100. And this was not something that I taught you. It was taught way back early in the year. But it's okay. We'll go through it together here, all right? So my original price, I know I can find that because it's in the problem. The original price was $180. I want to know what percent, so that's the question mark that I'm looking for, is it increased? Well, how much did it increase from $207 to $180? It increased by $27. The whole top row represents the increase. So it is the dollar increase over here and the percent increase over here. Okay, and that 100 represents 100% of the original cost. All right, so now I'm going to cross multiply and divide. Going to change colors here so it stands out for you. 27 times 100 is 2,700 divided by the other number left over, 180, and that's 15. That means it is a 15% increase. All right, make for sure you wrote this down. If you're having trouble, there is a box on page 10 that on your cheat sheet that'll help you out, okay? All right, this problem here, Lainey is 4 feet 8 inches tall. There are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. What is her height in centimeters? So this is multiple steps here. First thing I would do is figure out how tall she is in inches. Okay, 4 feet 8 inches. Well, 8 inches is okay, but 4 feet. We know that there are 12 inches per foot. So my 4 feet would be 48 inches plus this 8 inches. That would be 56 inches tall. Okay, so now I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to switch colors here. If she's 56 inches tall and we know how many centimeters are in every inch, we can now multiply. Okay, we're going to set up a ratio table with centimeters and inches. That 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, but she's 56 inches tall. So what strategy could I use here to solve this? Yes, you could cross multiply and divide. You could also look for a scale factor. Okay, I'm going to say 1 times 56 is 56. So 2.54 times 56 times 56 there would be 142.24 centimeters. And that is your answer. Make for sure you wrote down the work, okay? All right, this problem here. Edgar pays $67.86 for 7.8 pounds of fertilizer. What is the price per pound of fertilizer? Price per pound, that means for 1 pound. So we're going to find the unit rate or unit cost, okay? So we start out with the cost, that is $67.86 for 7.8 pounds. And when I find the price per pound, that's 1 pound. Now my strategy could be cross multiply and divide. I'm okay with that. So when I multiply 67.86 times 1, I'm still going to get 67.86. And that's okay to still go through the steps, okay? But then we're going to divide by the other number that's left over that's not the diagonal one that we multiplied by, okay? So 67.86 divided by 7.8. When I would do that, remember, I cannot have a decimal out here in my divisor. I'm going to move it over 1. I'll take that one, move it over 1. So it goes right up here. All right? So I'm going to, 78 doesn't go into 6. It doesn't go into 67. It does go into 678 8 times. So when I go through and I multiply here, 78 times 8, I get 624. And I'm going to subtract and get 54. I bring down the 6. And I get a 7. 78 times 7 is 546. So my answer is 8.7, which that's money because we're looking up at the cost. So it's $8.70. All right, be sure you wrote all this down or pause it if you need to. All right, your next problem here. Mr. Matthewson increased the amount of weight he lifted each morning from 80 pounds to 90 pounds. By what percentage did he increase? Now, your first instinct may be to say 10. No, that's only if your original was at 100, okay? 10 pounds does not equal 10%, okay? But I know when I do this, I can set up my 100 here. It's asking me by what percentage, so that's what I'm solving for. But what was my original weight? 80. And what did he increase by? Because I'm not looking for what the new weight was. I want the change. The change was the 10-pound difference. He went from 80 to 90, so the change was 10 pounds. So I can do a couple of things here. I can look for cross, multiply, and divide. I can look at the relationship here between 80 and 10. I like that one. I'm going to change colors just so that it stands out. 80 divided by 8 is 10. So 100 divided by 8 is going to give me 12.5. Now, you could also cross, multiply, and divide. You could say 10 times 100 is 1,000, and then divide by 80. You're still going to get 12.5, okay? Great job, Rams. I'm proud of you for keeping going through this, okay? All right, so this problem here says Margot missed 24.6% of the free throw shots in a season. During the season, she took a total of 90 free throw shots. Which of the following best estimate of the number of free throws that she missed? Okay, first thing is it's estimate, so if it's not exact, it's okay. She took 90 free throws. So that's the whole amount that she shot. She attempted them. Now, we want to know what she missed, which was 24.6. Well, if we think about it, 25 is a fourth of 100. So what's a fourth of 90? That could be a good estimate here, right? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2, 8. Okay. So an estimate here is going to be 22.2. So 22% would be my guess. I'm going to double check it here with a quick little calculator and say cross, multiply, and divide. So 90 times 24.6. And then divide by 100. Yes, you're going to get 22.14. Okay, so 22% was your answer. It's a percent proportion, so you do part over whole equals percent over 100. All right, thanks, Rams. All right, Miguel measures 5 kilograms of rice. 1 kilogram is approximately equal to 2.2 pounds. Which measure is the closest here? Oh, I'm so sorry. So this is a ratio table because I'm converting from one unit of measurement to another. I have kilograms and pounds. Okay, so 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. That is your given ratio. Okay, and you have 5 kilograms, so you're just going to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. 2.2 times 5 gives me 11 pounds. Okay, just a straightforward ratio table anytime that you are converting from one measurement to another. All right, one more problem. All right, on this problem here, Jameson pays $39.90 for 3.8 pounds of almonds. So we want to know what is the price per pound. That's a unit cost. All right, so to do this, I'd put in my $39.90 divided by 3.8. That's 3.8 pounds. I want to know cost per pound. Per means 1. So cost for 1 pound. So I can divide by 3.8 because I just want to say, how do I get from 3.8 to 1? I divide by 3.8. And whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Divide by 3.8. So $39.90 divided by 3.8, you get 10.5. Now, a common mistake. Sorry, guys, I'm still at school, so announcements happening. 39.9 divided by 10.5. When you start dividing this, remember no decimal there, no decimal. So it's over here. So when you get 10.5, that's where your decimal went. Okay. 39 divided by, oh, I actually wrote down the wrong numbers here, divided by 10.8. So sorry, y'all. Let me clear that out here. Make that make sense here for us, okay? I didn't mean to make it confusing. All right, so 39.9 divided by 3.8. Okay, move it over 1, move it over 1. So you have that, and then you end up with 10.5. There we go. All right, Rams, if you have any questions, let us know, but make for sure you have all the work shown, okay? Have a good day, Rams.